Hey YouTube, Kira Twig here, bringing you guys my updated Evilswarm deck profile for February 2014. It's been a little while since I played this deck, but something actually sparked my interest to start playing with it again. So I'll bring you guys the update to the deck profile. It's a really fun deck. Kind of got overshadowed by Constellars in the long run, because I know those two decks were rivals when they first came out, if you were an Evilswarm or a Constellar player. But I still remain faithful to the Evilswarm side, so we'll go ahead and get started and show you guys what the deck is made up of. Pretty much staple for the deck, I run 3 Evilswarm Caster. Its effect is during the turn this card was normal summon, you can normal summon 1 Evilswarm monster in addition to your normal summoner set. You can only gain this effect once per turn. So pretty much the main concept of the Evilswarm deck is to get Ophion out as quickly as you can and lock down your opponent from special summoning any level 5 or higher monsters. So Caster really helps in that situation. And I also run 3 Evilswarm Mandragora. Pretty much if your opponent controls more monsters than you do, you could special summon this card from your hand. So if your opponent goes first, you automatically have Mandragora ready to special summon, so that you have that one additional monster that you can use for your plays. And I also run 3 Evilswarm Thunderbirds. Pretty much Thunderbird, during either player's turn when a card effect is activated, except during the damage step, you could, banish this card that you control, and during the next step, bring it back. It gains 300 attack points, putting it at 1950. So pretty much it's like a wind-up rabbit for Evilswarms. Bouncing up and down, can't touch it really that easily. Just a good card to stall out with until you get the plays you want. And I also run 3 Evilswarm Kirkion. Kirkion is definitely the MVP of this deck, not including the extra deck. Kirkion gets plays off very easily just by banishing an Evilswarm monster. You can get one back from the grave to your hand, perform an additional normal summon. Him by himself, if you have stuff in the grave, he adjusts graveyard amount of dark monsters so you can get dark armed off if you don't have Ophion out on the field. So he's just a great card overall. And I also run 3 Evilswarm Heliotrope. He's the level 4 vanilla of the deck. I use him pretty much with Rescue Rabbit. You don't see Rescue Rabbit get too much play lately, but I still love running it in this deck. It's still versatile, still gets off good plays. You can recycle the Heliotropes with Daigusto and Morale. Just good overall. And like I said, I run 1 Dark Arm Dragon. That and Rescue Rabbit are the 2 only non-monsters that are not Evilswarm monsters that I run in this deck. Let's say I make Ophion, including the 2 things that made Ophion. If my opponent somehow destroys Ophion, then I'm able to get Dark Armed out, because that gives me the 3 dark monsters in the graveyard that I needed. And they really get angry when they see that, because they work so hard to get over the Ophion, and then they have to deal with a Dark Arm. That's it for the monsters. For spells, 2 Infestation Pandemics, pretty much just a free Forbidden Lance. 4 Evilswarm monsters. I can search it very easily with Ophion. I was running 3 for a time, but I'm pretty comfortable with just 2 at the moment. Also run 2 Forbidden Dress, just because you want to protect Ophion. Infestation Pandemic only can work with spells and traps. Dress takes care of everything else. Plus 1 Reinforcements of the Army, just so I can get Caster to my hand quickly. Allure of Darkness, pretty much everything in this deck is dark, so very easy to use for draw power. 1 Book of Moon, 3 MST just for that extra pop, and 1 Dark Hole. For trap cards, I run 1 Infestation Infection. Pretty much with this card, I shuffle 1 Evilswarm monster back into my main deck to add 1 Evilswarm monster from my deck to my hand. So I can use this card. I mostly get Kirkion with this just so I can get more plays off. Really good card. Searchable with Ophion, since Ophion searches Infestation cards. Really good overall. Plus, I also run the new card, 2 Safe Zone. Was finally able to get my copies of Safe Zone, so really looking forward to using this card. Pretty much the main play I get off with him, with Safe Zone, I can easily summon number 66, Master Key Beetle, with this deck. It requires 2-level dark monsters, and pretty much just make a lock, so it's very hard for my opponent to get around. Key Beetle targets the Safe Zone targets the Key Beetle. It's very hard to get out of that situation once that happens, which is why I really like Safe Zone. I enjoyed Safe Zone very much in my Naturia deck, using it with Bamboo Shoot, and I look forward to using it with this deck as well. Plus 3 Fiendish Chain, just to stop my opponent's plays with their monsters. Very good card. Prefer it over Effect Veiler in this deck. Just works a lot better in my opinion. plus 1 Bottomless, 1 Torrential, 2 Deep Prison, 1 Solemn, and 1 Compulse, just for basic staples. For the extra deck, the main card, I run 3 Evilswarm Ophion. He's the guy you go for the most. Most of the time I can get 3 out in a game. His search effect for infestation cards. Your opponent cannot special summon level 5 or higher monsters or yourself, but that's not really a problem since the only thing you really have with this deck is Dark Arm. Everything else are rank 4 summons. I also run 1 Evilswarm Bahamut. He's pretty much the big guy of the deck, can take control of one of your opponent's monsters. 1 Evilswarm Ouroboros, just so I can have that option. 1 Black Ship of Corn. 1 Crazy Box. I run Crazy Box pretty much just for those tough situations. Yeah, I don't really use the effects. I just use it so I have a 3k monster, very difficult for my opponent to get over. Just for those situations. Plus 1 Maestro, already mentioned before, the Key Beetle. Love these plays with this card. It's a lot of fun. 1 Utopia. 1 Vylon de Sigma. I'm still testing out this card, but I enjoy using it. It's not that bad. I would use Shockmaster if we still had it, but sadly we don't. 1 Steel Swarm Roach. 1 Gem Knight Pearl. 1 Blade Armor Ninja. This is for mostly my caster plays when I use 2 casters, just so I can go heavy hit just from the beginning. And 1 Daigusto Emerald, so I can recycle my Heliotropes in case I need to use them with Rabbit later in the game. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the deck. Definitely recommend giving Evilswarms a try. The playstyle is pretty simple, but it's a very fun deck. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and Kira Twig out.